I'm Diana from artfullyyours.net. Welcome, and today this is a DIY project that I think anyone can do. You saw a picture of it already, the finished picture of it on the blog article. I'll show it right now. Okay, so I don't know, I hope that showed up good, but here's the steps for this. It's kind of like it looks like antique metal art, and the idea is that you could use it for a tree ornament, you could use it for the cover of a card, a greeting card. You could then you could make an interesting painting background, which I'm going to show you all different kinds of painting techniques today that would be the background in case you just wanted to hang this on a wall. So the way to get started is you need cardboard so that it's not that bendable, pretty like medium hard cardboard, and then a paper that's around the same size as the cardboard. And I guess you remember this from elementary school, okay? So we fold it once, we fold it twice, and now we're going to cut on all four sides, shapes. So let's see, 2 triangles, half of a circle, little triangles, just simple. And you can do this with a leaf, like if you found a leaf that was flat from outdoors, this is just, and you could glue the leaf to the cardboard and it would be a leaf design on this instead of the cut paper design. So this is nice because it's kind of like a, reminds you of a snowflake design. So then we glue this. And then, so I glued it to there. The next thing is gluing the regular kitchen aluminum foil on top. So I'm going to put glue right over top of this, and you need a lot of glue, like all over the, make sure you get the edges too. So it doesn't matter if it's the shiny side up or the dull side. Then folding over the edges. And the next thing is rubbing, and it's going to take about like five minutes. You're rubbing until you see the design start coming through. So that takes about, like, I'm not going to be able to do this in like 1 minute for the video, but it's starting to come through right now. Yeah, it's starting to come pretty good through right now. If you can see this, design is starting to show through. But, so now I'm going to put that one aside. So here's one that's ready to go. The design has been rubbed enough that it's coming through, and it's ready for just, I'm not going to do this part, but black spray paint, just the cheapest black spray paint you can get, it doesn't matter. And you just spray like one layer. And then it only needs to dry about, well, I had fast drying. I made sure I bought fast drying black spray paint, and so they dried like in 10 minutes. Then you need 000 steel wool, and make sure it's 000 because this is really fine, very fine, soft steel metal, and we don't want heavy duty steel wool. Make sure it's 000. And then the next thing would be you would tear off a piece, and suppose this was already covered with black spray paint. Now I'm rubbing this, and yes, black dust. You want something under you. Right now I have white. Well, I'm about to do some watercolor, but this I have a big white poster board that's under this to protect the table. And then it's going like this, and that takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get the, it could be that the black spray paint I got wasn't even cheap enough, because I think maybe the cheaper it is, it might be easier to scrub off, but I'm not sure. But it took 10 to 15 minutes to scrub it off enough that now we see like it looks like an antique design showing through. And yes, it does create black dust, and it does get on your hands. And then now I want to show you, because this could be used for a not that one. This could, yeah, like I said before, could be used for a greeting card, and then even if you're using it for a greeting card, or if you want to hang as a by itself as a tree ornament, or maybe just hanging on your door by itself, or if you want a background for it. Well, now I want to show you some different kinds of watercolor techniques. So right now, I forgot about how that black dust was going to get on here. So yeah. So this is what 140 pound hot press watercolor paper. It's not a super brand name. I can't remember the brand name, but it's hot, and it's a block. So I do not have to tape down. I do not have to use masking tape to tape down my edges, if you've seen that in watercolor before, because otherwise it buckles up when it dries. This is already, it's called a block. That's what and so on two sides it's open, but on the two sides it's adhesive on the side, so it's holding it down, and it will not buckle up while it's drying. So now, this is a huge paper. Yes, it would be too big for this, but it's just to give you an idea of different kinds of painting techniques that you might want to try. And it's a 140 pound hot press, which that means it's a smooth surface. If it's cold press, it's going to be a more rough surface. So that's up to you what you like. And right now, so I'm going to start. And I can even wet the, see, here's one technique. You wet the paper first. So here's one technique. I'm going to wet the paper first. And I'm just going to do different designs here. So I'm going into the blue. And so here, yeah, and I don't have my camera set up, sorry, because I'm new to making videos, and I don't have my camera set up, so you can, so they have like some demonstration down on my table. But wet. So now the wet paint on the wet, it starts traveling. Okay, not right away, I say, but now it's starting to move in the water. And if I go like that, now it's going to start dripping, and that creates a cool effect too. So it's starting. You might want to go different sides and dripping. I like that dripping. So that's done by having put down just clear water first on the watercolor paper, and then I added a color. Now, another one maybe you remember from elementary school is using your white crayon. Using your white crayon, and you're gonna, and oops, and it pressed down hard. So now you can't see, of course, because this is white on white. And you want to kind of press down hard, and so hard that, oh yeah, wow, my crayon just broke. So now let's see. So I guess you probably remember this, but for all the kids at school, they like think art is magic with this. So then I paint on top of the white crayon, and because it's wax, it's going to resist the water. And actually, this didn't turn out. Oh, okay, hold on. I probably should have made this white crayon a little bit. Let's see if this is working. So now you can see that I had made white wavy lines. I had made white wavy lines, and the white crayon, crayon wavy lines are showing through. Because the water does not stick to wax crayon. So next thing is Oh yes, watercolor colored pencils. Okay, so this, wow, this is a big pack of, like, 24. And this is probably a good brand, Stadler watercolor colored pencils. You may or may not have heard of this. So let's pick a vibrant color. So they have watercolor oil, they have watercolor pastels, which would be thicker, like oil pastels, but they're water soluble when you paint on top of them. Or you see we have watercolor pencils. And so then you add the water on top. And maybe it takes a while to these are, I have not used these. These are new, and I hadn't used them. And actually this is not acting, it's not acting totally like how I expected it to. I thought it was going to be blending out some more. Maybe it takes some time. So here, if you can see this. And it should have blended out more. So I would, instead of watercolor pencils, I would get very soft lead watercolor pencils, or I would get those pastels that are water soluble. Another technique is that you put so I'm going to add to this blue. I'm painting wet water on it. Add the color. And now I have to leave the room for just a second because I'm going to go get salt. Okay, excuse me. So now pouring salt on this wet watercolor. The granules of salt start soaking it up, and then it creates like a bubbly effect. If you're trying to paint water, it's a great way to paint water. But it's going to, right now, it might take a while for the bubbly thing to happen. And if I could just go like this, and you could see this closer. So, let's see if we add more water on top of that salt. Okay. Well, it's gonna, as it dries, I think the effect is gonna start happening. You don't see it right away when it's wet. As it dries, it's gonna leave like white dot areas. And as you can see already with that shot, that as the green dried over the white crayon, now I can see that white crayon through there. And now I see the watercolor pencil. Yeah, those watercolor pencils, I think there's some that could work better than that. And so I just gave different painting technique ideas for that could be the background for this metal design art. And thank you for visiting. And I think this is something that anybody could do that has a creative impulse and they want to express themselves. I think that this is something anybody could do. And thanks for visiting and stopping by. And my name is Diana from artfullyyours.net. Thank you.